guys, today I'm going to be doing a book and movie review, and the book slash movie I'm going to be reviewing is Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer. I will tell you about the book and then I'll move on to the film. Just to start, I absolutely loved this book. Loved it so much. I gave it 5 stars. So glad I picked it up. But yeah, I definitely prefer the book to the film, just to let you know, but I'll move on to why in a minute. As to the book is about a 10-year-old boy named Oscar, and he lives at home with his mum, and his dad was recently killed in a tragic accident, which we discover, although we kind of know from the beginning, is in fact 9/11. He was in a business meeting and he was killed, and the book is basically about the relationship between Oscar and his dad and how he wants to kind of hold on to anything left that he can of his dad, and how he can kind of overcome the fact that his dad has died and move on from that, but it's still kind of keep a part of him alive for as long as possible. Oscar's only 10, so he has a big kind of problem with getting over the passing of his father, which is understandable. Him and his dad used to do these little quests, which is kind of confusing to explain, but the book does it really well. They do on these quests, and his dad gives him clues, and he has to try and find an answer. I'd like to point out that Oscar is incredibly intelligent for a 10-year-old boy. He's not like the 10-year-old boy you'd see in most novels, which can be quite childish. He's proper, intelligent. So quite surprisingly so, which is why this is an adult novel, but even though it's told through the eyes of a 10-year-old, so you don't really kind of feel like it's a child, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's really kind of a big point of this. I love the way that he addresses the audience. You never kind of dumb down because of his intelligence, and you are forever learning little facts throughout the book. Because he's into science and technology and all this lot, he kind of tells you stuff while he's doing his quests, which kind of gives you kind of some background information and knowledge, and teaches you things and teaches you about other people, which I really liked. There are subplots to this book about his grandfather and who he is, and his grandfather can't speak, and all these kind of things, and there's loads of different characters that we meet throughout this book, and they all tie in really well. I won't give too much away. If you want to know more about the book, then the link to the Goodreads is down below, but I definitely recommend you all go out and read this. It's a very good book, and I probably am not giving it the justice it deserves, but yes, definitely read this. Yeah, to move on to the film. The film stars Tom Hanks and Sandra Bullock. I'm not a fan of Tom Hanks, ooh, surprise, but yeah, I think he did an alright job playing Oscar's father, so he wasn't in it very much, but yeah, Sandra Bullock stole it for me. She did a great job of portraying the mother within the film. I preferred Sandra Bullock's mother character much more to what I did to Oscar's mother's character in the book. She was more present in the film than she was in the book, because the end of the book is completely different to the end of the film. I'm not sure which one I prefer. The problem with the film is so much is cut out, like most films, and lots of characters are taken out. A mild spoiler, if you don't want to hit any spoilers, then maybe kind of skip ahead a little bit. But in the book, Oscar meets a man, and he has never left his flat since his wife died or something. And he goes on the search on this quest with this man. But in the film, this man is his grandfather, but in the book it isn't. Sorry, it probably makes no sense. His grandfather is a different man in the book to what he goes on the quest with, whereas in the film he goes on the quest with his grandfather, which I don't know why they did that. It probably tied it in a bit better, but because his grandfather in this is all, he's only ever present through like letters that he wrote years and years and years ago, but it's different interactions with the characters, and yeah, so that's different. That's probably the biggest difference, is how his grandfather plays a part in his life, and his grandmother. I'm not sure if I like that or not, but yeah, that's probably the biggest difference. And other than that, I think a lot of it was kept quite similar in the actual narrative. It was just, so much of it was changed as well, but I think they kept trying to focus in the film on Oscar and finding this key that he's looking for, but in the book it was a lot more about the background story of his grandfather and his father's relationship with Oscar, which is all kind of told in past tense, which is why it wasn't as present in the film. It's kind of like two different stories. I don't know, I preferred the book, definitely. I think that's all I have to say, really. If you want me to talk about this book any more in the future, or if you just want me to answer a couple questions in the comments below, then I shall do so. I do apologise if this review is not great, but like I said, definitely read the book, and I would watch the film as well, but bear in mind the film does no justice towards the book. But as a standalone film, if I hadn't read the book, then I'd love it, probably. But it's definitely worth watching, especially after reading the book, because I think I really like the end of the film. It adds more of a relationship towards Oscar and his mother, which is missing within the book. So I definitely recommend that you check both out. I shall leave links below so you can find out more information about both. But until then, I shall carry on reading what I'm reading. Let me know what you're reading below if you'd like, and we can talk about that. Until I make another video, I shall speak to you guys soon. Bye!